Jesus drives out vendors and usurers from the temple. Take these things away from here. And do not make my Father's home a market house. Devotion to the Father's home. Welcome to our channel that compares gospel topics and Franciscan sources. For a more complete overview of our human, cultural and spiritual offering, we suggest you visit the website USURY.art. USURY.art. John 2 verses 13 to 22. We adore you, O Christ, in all your churches. Jesus emphasizes that his Father's home should not be a place of commerce and usury. Like the Lord, Saint Francis had zeal for the Father and his will. As for all the churches throughout the world, he wanted them respected for what they are and represent. This even though Jesus had made him understand that the zeal was directed towards the church, assembly of believers, living temple of Christ, but without compromise. In the sources, he was not ashamed to ask small things from those smaller than himself. He is truly minor, who had learned the greatest things from the Supreme Master. He used to seek with singular zeal the way and the way to serve God more perfectly, as he best pleases. Sources 1205. Furthermore, truly with joyful devotion, he wandered among the celestial abodes. And in complete self-annihilation, he lived for a long time as if hidden in the wounds of the Savior. His safe harbor was prayer. Not of a few minutes, or empty, or pretentious, but deeply devoted, humble, and prolonged as much as possible. Sources 445. But regarding the repair of Saint Damien, it is this place where Saint Francis, guided by divine revelation, began the order of Friars Minor. Precisely by the disposition of divine providence, which guided him in everything. The servant of Christ had materially restored 3 churches before founding the order and dedicating himself to the preaching of the gospel. In fact, just as 3 buildings were repaired, under the guidance of this holy man the church would be renewed in 3 ways. According to the form of life, according to the rule, and according to the doctrine of Christ proposed by him. Sources 1050. He had taught his friars to recite this prayer near every church they encountered, adoring the Almighty. We adore you, O Christ, in all your churches. Sources 401. Zeal for the house of God consumed him, and alone with the Father, he was transformed into prayer. Francis, a man of God, loved prayer in a special way, as a place of encounter with the groom, jealously guarding it from every noise. We read in the second life of his well-known biographer, Celano. He always sought a secluded place, where he could unite not only with the Spirit, but with his individual limbs, to his God. When he prayed in the woods instead, and in lonely places, filled the woods with groans. He bathed the earth in tears. He often spoke aloud with his Lord. He was accountable to the judge. He begged the Father. He was speaking to the friend. He joked amiably with the groom. And in reality, to offer to God in a multiple holocaust all the fibers of the heart. He considered him who is supremely one under different aspects, often without moving the lips. He meditated for a long time within himself, and concentrating the external powers within. He rose with the Spirit to heaven. He was not so much a praying man. Rather, he himself was completely transformed. In living prayer. Sources 681 to 682. On the contrary, as is known and as the sources say, against the worldly model, well-being brought the usual consequences. They buried their faces in the fat, and were blinded by obesity, or rather from the dung of wealth. And so, having fallen into greater sins, they forgot about God who had saved them. Sources 6:21-36. Take these things away from here, and do not make my Father's home a market house. John 2 verses 13 to 22. Thank you all for your kind attention. Please subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our activities. If you liked it, leave a well done to support us. Subscribe, give your precious like, comment, and share with your friends. Thank you, join us, and see you soon.